Hey guys, what's up? My name is Melissa, and you're listening to Wow, where we discuss unconventional norms of lifestyle, career, and world points of view. On Wow, people discuss their journey to becoming Wow. Hosted and curated by me, Melissa Witherspoon. Hey guys, welcome back. On today's episode, we have Black Girl Magic in the building. I am so excited. Literally, we have the co-founders, also the CMO, CFO, and COO of Auroa Tights. These ladies are doing it. Talk about disrupting the industry. When y'all hear the biography, guys, y'all gonna be like, ooh, yeah. So let's get straight into it. The Aurora team is composed of a figure skater, synchronized ice skater, and a competitive dancer with over 60 years of performing experience combined. Imani, Jasmine, and Sydney attended the University of Maryland College Park and are sisters of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority, Inc. Jasmine, a figure skater of over 20 years, used to dye her tights in the bathtub before every competition, and the process was time-consuming, messy, experimental, and expensive. On the opposite end of the spectrum, Imani, a lifetime synchronized ice skater, grew up skating in tights that were too pale for her complexion. While they had different experiences, they unified in feeling marginalized, unheard, and unseen in the sport they loved. While coaching a team of young synchronized ice skaters, Jasmine, Imani noticed that many of their students, particularly those of color, were reliving their experience of isolation. Due to the lack of diverse skating gear, their students were lacking confidence, loneliness, and identity issues. Many times, athletes of color draw away from the sport, not because of lack of talent, but due to the lack of community. Inspired by their students, the duo both quickly realized that there was an unmet need and shared their stories with Sydney, their best friend, and a lifetime competitive dancer. Sydney had similar experience while dancing, with the added pressure of being a dark-skinned woman and a premature white sport. Their hair products, makeup, especially the apparel, never fit her appearance. Sydney's feeling of isolation rose so high she avoided looking in the mirror. It was only after finding her community on her collegiate team, a predominantly Black woman, that Sydney started to have confidence in her skills, but also her appearance. She understood then what it meant to have a support channel to turn into times of need. Together, the three decided to be the catalyst to end the destructive cycle of microculturalism within performance sports and instead build a community of empowerment. I know that's impressive, guys. Wow, I'll turn the page. Dance and ice skating are rapidly. Can't even talk, guys. Performance athletes of color are no longer selling for apparel that accommodates light skin complexion. There is a movement within performance sports in which athletes are demanding to perform at their authentic selves. We work with the community parties like Diversity Ice, Philanto, I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. Philadelphia, and Figure Skating in Harlem, Dance Institution of Washington, to embrace this inclusive environment and empower performers to excel at their athletic passions. To do this, the first step is to ensure that all performers have apparel in their unique tone. Currently, there is a whole population of performers who do not have tights that match their skin tone or do not like the shades that are available to them. We strive to make sure all the athletes perform in color. That is one bio.
Thank you for reading that. That was a lot.
Hey, it's part of my job, guys. I just try to do my job to my best ability. But I'm here with these ladies. We're going to have a wonderful conversation. So, ladies, say hey.
Hi.
Shout out outside. Hi. All right, let's get right into it. Can everyone talk about their role in their position? Let's just get into it. Let's start with you, Jazz.
Okay, so we're all three founded all together. My role specifically, though, I'm the CFO, Chief Financial Officer, so a lot of resource allocation, also do a lot of we all do our brainstorming together, but also long-term planning for strategy-wise, investor pitches. But again, we also we'll talk about it more later, but I think we have a different take.
Okay.
And so we do a lot of like more circular leadership. So we pitch together. We all pitch separately too, but we do a lot of that. So we have a different way of kind of viewing that. But yeah, I do a lot of the resource allocation and things like that, making sure that our money is going good places, make sure we have enough money to do the things we need to do. But yeah, like I said, outside of that, I'm a founder. So anybody who knows when you start, I'm a founder. Everybody's doing every little thing, anything you can think of. You know, we're all doing whatever little thing that needs to be done, responding to people, being faces, talking to people. Like I always on. But yeah, that's me for the CFO. I don't know if I'm missing anything, y'all. They can tell me.
Is she missing anything, guys?
Just all of it, budgets, QuickBooks, all of those things.
QuickBooks, budgets, numbers, valuations, all that very fun stuff.
All right, Sydney, now you go, boo, because since you took the role, you took the mic, you gotta go, boo, boo.
Well, yeah, my name is Sydney Parker. I am a co-founder as well and the chief marketing officer of Auroa Tights. Really, really in charge of just introducing our culture to our customers and trying to attract customers to our brand through different social channels and through different advertising methods. I think all of us have like full-time jobs outside of Aurora too. And my full-time job is actually working at what was previously known as Facebook, now known as the crazily named Meta, and working in advertising sales there. So I try to pull from that knowledge as well as having a business before this that really helped Black women, especially become influencers and monetize off of that. Try to bring those skills to Auroa Tights, although Aurora has definitely taught me a lot more than either of those jobs combined. So yeah.
All right, up to you, baby girl. Imani, take the mic.
Thank you. Hi, so my name is Imani Rickerby. I'm a co-founder and COO, so Chief Operations Officer. So my role primarily is getting the product to exist to all the way to the customer's hand. So my job includes finding manufacturers to make our products, working with them, paying them, figuring out packaging, how we're going to label them, and then getting them in-house. I also deal with our customer relations side. So someone wants to return something, they're usually talking to me on the back end. But just to once again echo what Jazz and Sid say, also, probably one of my most favorite parts of being on this team is that the work that we do, we all touch every single part of this business. So it's been an amazing learning opportunity. And honestly, I wouldn't be the woman I am today without Aurora. And that's like a good thing and a bad thing, right?
No, like just getting right into it, talking about the trials and up down, because it's have definitely been a journey. You guys started in 2018. So let's go into the trials and errors, because I know y'all had some testimonies.
Yes. Okay, how are we passing this around? Because we all probably going to say different stories, same stories. Like, who wants to kick it off? Trials and errors. I can start with an early trial, and then maybe pass it on. One of our earliest trials was dying in our house. So Imani and I, after we graduated college, our senior year, we decided to get a house all together. There's 4 of us, a mess. It was a great time, broke young 20s era, and we decided to start this business. And so we're dyeing tights literally in our apartment. We got big old pots, and we're like literally like making Frankenstein experiments. Sometimes they would come out green, sometimes they come out orange, and but like we were just like, we're just gonna do it. And so that's how we did it at first. Of course, Sydney was there too. All of us were just dying, doing as best we can. It was a mess. But fortunately, I think one of our friends, was it Amber who bought the first pair? Yeah. That was hand dyed. So that was the first trial, was just learning. Like, mind you, we're not business majors. This was just all idea based off of, so we were teaching, we had our personal experience, we're teaching young girls. Like, that's what got us into this. It wasn't because we're like, oh, we known all along we wanted to be entrepreneurs. So that was probably like an earlier trial and tribulation. But it just seems so far back because there's been so many other things throughout the journey. But so I'll pass it on to somebody else.
I mean, to stick on like the operation side, it's just, I think every day is a trial in itself. There's always something going wrong. And I think, I don't know, I think like going through the pandemic, And all the ice skating rinks, the dance studios, they're closing. So now we have this product, but people are no longer using it at home. So how do we pivot? So we did enter the athleisure space again. And I think that's just a testament of like what kind of team we are. But with the pandemic, our first manufacturer for our tights, our hosiery, they closed down. A week before we were supposed to receive a new order of inventory, and I almost called it quits. It's like I don't like I've already been isolated in my room for so long, and now like this is not working too. But luckily we were able to find a new manufacturer, Rodney. I talk to him almost 5 times a day. But yeah, being an entrepreneur is hard. It's really, really hard, but there's definitely a lot of highs that come with it as well.
Yeah, I would agree. I would just agree that like through all the different trials and tribulations, it's nice to not be like a solopreneur, like somebody who's just doing this on their own. Because I know before when I was like, I had a business by myself, it was hard because it was like you want to check in with people, you want to bounce ideas off of people. Like we all talk to each other. If Monty talks to the manufacturer 5 times a day, we talk to each other like 10 times a day, with just every little thing sometimes. And that's just very nice, I think 3 is a great number to
Okay.
3 is a great number to
She's a trend.
to-
She's on our line. She's a
okay,
trend.
okay.
So I had to put out there for context. So.
Okay. Hey, baby. It's what it is. Hey.
3 is a great number in general. Okay?
Just weave that in there, but yeah.
Okay. No, so talk about, a lot of times we don't talk about sisterhood in business. A lot of times they're always like Black women, specifically us. We gotta be crab in the barrel mentality. We gotta fight each other. So I know you guys are sisters already before business, but just go in why business and sister means so much more to you.
What a question. I'm looking at y'all. I don't know if you see me.
I think that that's a really good one. I think it's like to have the ability to like have a founder's call, right? That's supposed to be an hour and a half. And then for me to be able to be like, give an update of our inventory, talk about how someone didn't like something, or there's a mistake with this order, to then flip to be like, yeah, my boyfriend, he did X, Y, and Z, I don't like him there, to then switch to like, have you guys watched your show yet? Like, and it just being so seamless. And then at the end of the call, we still got everything done. And I like, of course, like we've been doing it since 2018, but like I know that this is something that like barely, who can ever like have anything like this? Like this is out of this world. And of course, like there are arguments. There are times where I hang up the Zoom call and I'm like, yo, I hate y'all. But and then there's so many moments where I'm like, I can't believe we're doing this. And like it is so fulfilling. So yeah, and I don't know. I just always say like the fact that we are 3 best friends and we are able to do this amazing thing for so long. Like, I don't know. I always get blown away.
No, literally. I think one thing, that's exactly, our conversations are not linear. They're all over the place. Like literally all the times you can think of. But also too, I think that I was being proposed to, had no idea. Why is Imani teaching him how to ice skate? She was literally teaching my fiance how to ice skate. Sydney was calling, she was living in Chicago at the time, but they tricking me. I thought we had an Aurora meeting or something, but like, like our lives just kind of bounce around, so it was very intertwined, which I think really just helps us, because it's like, okay, I believe in, the 10,000 hour rule and stuff like that. I don't know how many hours we spend with each other, but I feel like way over 10,000 at this point. Like we gotten to know each other, we got our rhythm, we got our pattern. And so, yeah, that's how I think of sisterhood in business.
First of all, props to your man for calling your best friends and getting them the proposal, and then want to learn how to skate. Bravo! You want to shout him out? You can.
Shout out Justin, learn how to ice skate. I mean, he got through the ice. I was a little worried that he wasn't gonna make it. He made it, so it worked out.
But you said something early in the interview about how when y'all was first starting out back in 2018, y'all was in the house and getting y'all hands dirty. I think today now with influencers, especially with Black influencers, we forget about you gotta get it out the mud. You gotta get your hands dirty. Talk from your perspective of that.
Okay, so I'm laughing just because we were talking about the other day, like our packaging, everything is so different now, you know? And at the time, it feels like such big hurdles. We ordered, I think, gold bags. At the time, Imani coined the term. We were ebony for the gold at first before we were Auroras. It didn't last long. It was a short-lived name, but no, that's when we were getting started. That was great. And I mean, we had like these well, honestly, too. Okay, let me back up. What got us really started is we were almost having an interview with somebody. So that was like a push. We had a goal. Like, we can have this interview. Let's get everything together. So we got our packaging together. We started dyeing it. We started getting little labels and tags, and it felt very official. Just how life works out. That disappeared. We never heard from her again, but we had a business. We had a product. We had a service. And so looking back at it now compared to our product now, it's like, wow, you clearly see the difference that happened since 2018. But at the time, it was just like, that was huge. And that was that Kickstarter we need. Like, we got our hands dirty. Let's make this product. We got something to bring to market, basically. But again, that's my side of the story. How do y'all see it?
I just wanted to, I think like at every stage of our growth, we've had to like really get down and do things ourselves first so that we can figure out what the process is to actually do it moving forward and scale it out. And the time I'm thinking of right now was right before the pandemic. We were ready. We were like, okay, we want to start selling to retail shops. And we wanted to go and do our first trade show. And this first trade show, we were like, oh my gosh, like we really need to, we had tights like unpackaged and some packaged, but we were like, okay, we're gonna be selling at this trade show, at this vending event. So Jazz and I are there, Bonnie helping from the stylist to like, just packaging like a lot of tights. I don't even know how much to say. It feels like thousands. I know it wasn't thousands, but all of us have had a
No,
hand.
it was a sweatshop.
At some point in time before it was the trade show, after the trade show, all of us have had a hand in packaging tights. And if there's a tedious task that, you could ever think of, it's packaging tights, and so, just even getting all the way through there. And funny enough, you weren't even supposed to sell at this show. We wound up selling on the back end, to some people, like giving them the tights right then and there, but you weren't even technically supposed to have packaged product. But I think it's through that messiness of just first doing it that we learn how to do these things.
No, one thing I hear is what I think is I'm loving so far. Y'all are not romanticizing entrepreneurship. I feel like everyone does that. I might be crazy, guys, but I feel like now when people tell this story, to romanticize it, make it a love story, make it was all beauty, and it's a lot of growing pains.
It definitely is. And that's funny. We were all watching Insecure together, and Issa came on stage and was talking about, I feel like, entrepreneurship, and she just gave a very real thing. I feel like we have the same perspective. Like, that's kind of the beauty of it. Like, if it was all great, all sweet, everybody would just hop off and do it. No, there's a lot of ups and downs. I think the biggest thing for me personally is just so much uncertainty, and I definitely came out with the pandemic. It was like, again, tying it back to being performance athletes, you train, you do well. The more you train, hard work, the more dedication, it's almost like it's ingrained, like the more work you put in, you'll see those results. But that's not how it always works with business. It goes to a cap. Like, there's a whole global pandemic, societal effects that are just in everything. Of course, it's going to go into the performance industry too. And so it's like learning to be okay with that, learning to adjust with that, and just having them with me throughout that whole process. I don't know. Like, again, to talk about a solopreneur, it would not be Aurora. Like, I just can't even imagine like that. But like being together, like having those devastating moments of like, wow, like the product that we have, Imani was just talking about, the product we have is not selling. What are we going to do? And having those people to lean on, like immediately, like, okay, we're going to figure this out together. Like, yeah, so you can't romanticize it. You're gonna talk about the lows, but it automatically just like it's a two-sided coin, leads us to our highs. And like that was just one of the things I feel most proud of ourselves for. Like Imani we had an internship program. Imani led the internship program. We all had little interns throughout the summer, and we thought it would be 5 people who would apply. We had over 100 applicants, okay? And that led our strategy, led a lot of our team building. People have stayed on our team since being interns, It's been such a pivotal part of our growth process, but it started off of a very big low, So, yeah, I'm rapping, but I don't know if y'all have thoughts on that.
I forgot the question.
Romanticizing entrepreneurship. In today's time, everybody's romanticizing it and making it seem like it's a beautiful love story when it's a complex relationship. It's days where you have cussing battles. It's a day when you draw the towel. It's a day when you call your other best friend and cry on the phone about this fool. Yeah, it's one of those.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I think that's also why we work so well as a trio. Is because we can be very honest to each other. Um, and honest with how we're feeling ourselves. Like, for example, I was what was it, 2 weeks ago? Um, my 9 to 5 was killing me, Aurora was killing me. I'm just going through a lot of changes personally. And the fact that I could be that transparent and honest with my two co-founders, like, hey guys, like I need a break. I need to take some time to myself. I'm gonna still do Aurora because it never stops, but I'm gonna do the bare minimum. And like they took that and like supported me through it. It wasn't, I don't have to be embarrassed. I'm able to be extremely transparent. So yeah, entrepreneurship isn't for the weak.
No, it's not. No, we could talk all day about that. But one thing that people also don't understand, I think, also in doing entrepreneurship is also the energy and the confidence that you have to take to make that step of thinking, I can put a product into the universe and it could sell. So what limited beliefs did you have to get rid of before y'all was able to take that next step?
Oh my goodness. Y'all about to talk about WWBD? No, I'm looking at Sydney. Sydney finalized.
I can share the story. Y'all, have you all ever heard of a fire festival?
Yes, what fire with Ja Rule?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That one? Okay, yeah, I saw the documentary. Yes.
So I think it might have been 2019 or 20 had been 2019.
She's like,
yeah, where it was definitely 2019 actually. And we had each like watched this documentary, and I remember distinctly us like calling each other like, isn't this crazy what this white man did? Like, like what how is he able to do something like this? Because I think like as a Black woman, in the entrepreneurship space, it's a very white space. Like, luckily, we had a entrepreneurship center. Shout out to the University of Maryland Stingman Center, that was so supportive of us as founders and wanting to diversify their founder set, because if it was let alone just to us, I think I can speak for all of us that we probably would have gone slower, but they gave us that confidence. But even then, like when we had watched this documentary, we were like, I can't believe this guy took this idea and then just squandered all of it. But that confidence of a white man, sometimes just like going forth and doing it, not really having as much skills, as much information as, I think as sometimes Black women, we think we need to make a decision, just going forth and doing it. That really inspired us. And so in deliriousness, after one of our photo shoots in 2019, we got a tattoo. Right here, I have mine.
Okay.
You can't probably see it.
Yeah, we can, boo boo. You show it in the camera one more time. We can see it. Okay.
I was gonna show you hers too, but it's WWBD. What would Billy do? On other occasions is what would Beyonce do? But no, it first started with what would Billy do? Because like, a lot of the times in these entrepreneurship space, especially in startup tech, it's a lot of white men just going for it. And it's like, why can't we as Black women do the same?
You looking confused. And it's not that we think, what would he do as far as morally? No, it's more so like, oh, this man had the audacity.
It's the energy. Y'all embody the energy of the white man. Because let's be real. Let's just keep it $100. A white man can get into president with no resume,
hesitation,
no nothing.
We saw that. Yeah.
We saw that. We was living proof of that. And then also it's just what a white man's world can do. And so I think it's so powerful that y'all saw that the performance athlete space, especially with the materials they need and the gear they need, is a white dominated male. Before you guys, were there any Black women doing what you guys were doing?
So first of all, we were monopoly spaces, and it was white male owned. old. Like things have not been updated in our industry for decades. They're not
Mm-hmm.
wearing it. To your point, your friend was talking about, they weren't having the wedgies. They
Mm-hmm.
weren't looking, out of place or wearing colors that don't match almost anybody's skin tone.
Mm-hmm.
So like it wasn't built off of their lived experiences, and so no. So that's the whole point of, I guess, of the WWBD, and even kind of bigger than that. I think it's about the confidence piece. I think we're just constantly daring each other, like, go for it, like, do it. And then you start doing that, you don't know where you're going to end up. Like, you're going to be places that you'll step into with boldness that you probably would otherwise second guess. And next thing you know, you're done with it. I know my first pitch, it was just like, you can't second guess it. You go do it. And next thing you know, it's done. And you just did it. Like, then you feel that victory afterwards, and you just keep building after that. So that's how I feel too, to that question.
No. But no, I think that's the importance of sisterhood. The importance of sisterhood is that, where you felt weak at, your other sister said, nah, you gonna go do that. And it's either you want to cuss me out or you want to get cussed out by them. And 9 out of 10 times, I can take getting cussed out by a random stranger than getting cussed out by family.
No, first of all, you don't know. That's literally it. It goes into regular life too. Like, so, okay, we have random stories. But we were all living together in Mexico early this year. And like, at the time, I was in a transition. I was graduating school, and I was like, I didn't know about my prospects. But like, they were also so supportive of me. I was literally reaching out to people on LinkedIn, just shooting my shot, like just talking, had a little 15-minute interviews, and ultimately later turned into my job. Like, but it's like that confidence building, like just going after it and having that support system telling you, like, just do it. And you'll know where it lands. There's so many people who have open doors for you. The amount of yeses was so surprising. I think that's another thing. Sometimes when you do push through with that confidence, don't be surprised when it's like, okay, someone's like, oh, sure, we'll love to, or we'll want to support you, we want to bring you in. It's like, you're not even expecting that next step. So I think that was another thing for, like, okay, after that confidence piece, do you be ready for that blessing that comes? So, yeah.
Were there any self-work that you guys had to do? Like therapy, if y'all feel comfortable? Did y'all have to, isolate yourself, solitude, give up vices? Like,
therapy. I am a strong advocate for therapy.
Me too, boo.
Yeah.
I'm in it.
Yes, no, honestly, life-changing. But I think one of the things that, I don't know, like talking to a therapist and then me explaining to my therapist my relationship with my co-founders, or even just like what we're doing as a company, she would always be like, Money, you're doing a lot. I was like, I know, but like I love it. But yeah, no, I think she would also always talk about how, you need to, don't forget the balance of like, being someone in your, oh, I'm in my mid 20s, and like having fun and, figure out your career. And like, you're also, a co-founder and COO of the startup company. Like, don't forget to always give yourself grace. So yes, amen to therapy.
Amen. No, self-care
Definitely.
is so important. I think self-care is how you able as an entrepreneurship to take your power back when the days it drains you. I can speak on it in this podcast. Being director, you always gotta take your self-care back because people try you on a regular day basis.
That's rebellion right there. Self-care.
Okay, so I got so into the interview because y'all was just spitting things, but let's get back to the birthing of Auroa Tights. So paint the picture of when y'all was like, we're gonna do this, and this is no more adult. Like, we're gonna put all our ducks in a row, and it's either this or we go home.
Okay, when was that time? That was what, January we were doing that shoot, or was that January, February 2018?
December.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was even like kind of November 2018, but yeah, December was when it all kind of came together.
Yeah, ideas phase, and then that shoot, I don't know, it was early that year too. And then when did we decide we wanted to just do it? It just, well, okay, we all have different answers. It's like, it was just a rolling ball. It was just like, at the next was the next goal, next thing, next goal. It just kept going. And also too, I think the biggest piece that Cindy already touched on, we all went to University of Maryland, but we were part of the Dingman Center for Entrepreneurship, and we got into courses, and then we would do one pitch competition, won that, did another thing, won that, or we did an accelerator, so we just kept going incrementally, and next thing you know, like, the business is expanding. I mean, it's like blurry details for me at this point, but I don't know, somebody else wants to pick up and add more.
Yeah, I distinctly remember a conversation where we were talking about, our experiences and I know you two had been coaching at the time and seeing how the lack of inclusion was affecting, young girls just like us when as we were growing up and not being the forefront of coaches or even the sports minds in terms of being included, whether that be from an apparel lens, hair, makeup. It's just that it runs the gambit of what we've all gone through. And so I think like all of us decided we're all and because we have that civic mindedness coming from our sorority, shout out to Delta Sigma Theta Incorporated. We I think we all just have that do it, like, okay, if nobody else is going to do it, we've got to, so um I think that to Jazz's point, yes, it's like that was where the idea was, but in terms of activating on it, everything that Jazz was saying is like it's not. I think for a lot of entrepreneurs or people wanting to go to entrepreneurship, it's like, oh, there's a set sort of things that need to get done to actually have a business. But I think it's just the action of doing the next thing and continuously doing the next thing and doing more and having people support you along the way, like the Demon Center was for us at our very beginnings and teaching you the ropes. That's why I think all of us are huge advocates as well for like joining an accelerator, even when you just have an idea, because they can really help to structure out the path for you to start your business too.
And break it down, because some of our listeners, they're literally babies when it comes to business or even the terminology. So break it down what accelerator would be.
Yeah, so an accelerator is basically I'll put accelerators and grant funds and pitch competitions all in the same lane of actually making you write down how your business is going to work, even in the application phase. And I think the application phase alone is very helpful in starting to like structure out, all right, what problem am I solving as a business? Who are my customers? What is the solution I'm going to be offering them? How is it unique from what's already out there on the market? Who are the biggest competitors and why? How are we differentiating? And what do I need right now? How am I going to use funding right now this day? Is it going to be to actually make this product? Is it going to be to acquire customers? Is it going to be for something else? So I think the accelerator actually helped to structure it out, but accelerator specifically is probably like a long period of time. Like our first accelerator was 2 months, 3 months of the summer, where you just hone in and really focus in on the business. They usually give you money. And each time there's like programming, a network that you can get involved with, and just benefits that come from doing something and being so concentrated on the business for that point in time.
No. I really think y'all guys, this might sound crazy, but work with me. I go left a lot. Julian can speak on this. I'm always going left. Y'all activists, because y'all are doing, like right now, I don't know if y'all familiar with Sarah Batman, the slave that was put on auction.
That sounds very familiar.
That had the big butt, yes.
I know exactly who you're talking
Okay,
about.
yes. Right now I've been interested in reading her story and everything and what she stands for and how like literally she was our age. I'm 26, but she was 26 when she passed away. And I'm like I'm really in her story reclaiming her history and everything. But to literally Black woman has been made America's made off the back of Black women. We have birthed this country. We have nursed their kids. Black women has always been behind every movement, even the civil rights movement. We don't even talk about, Martin Luther King could not move if it wasn't for the girls in the back room getting things together.
Absolutely.
We don't talk about that, and we never get the spotlight. One of my mentors always say that being a Black woman is like being Black twice. Just the struggle of it. And here goes us still getting every day to fight, and then going to fight white supremacy, going to fight classism. I think y'all literally are being activists right now doing what you guys are doing.
Oh, thank you.
Do y'all feel like activism?
I think that's something that we all want. Like we all have very similar goals in the sense we just want to make sure that this product is always in the market for all the little girls, boys, people who need these products, so it's definitely that full circle give back moment like that really drives us. And like I think Sydney's the one who was coining like we're a double bottom line company. Like we're not just looking at profits, we're looking at impact. You know, so that's definitely something that's very key to us. Though we're not a nonprofit, we work with several of them. So we're really just trying to push that. But yeah, I see. I don't know if someone wants to add on to it.
Go.
Oh, I think you said it perfectly, Jazz, honestly.
No. So have y'all been able to witness a little girl seeing her tights for the first time? Can y'all talk about that experience? Because did y'all cry, first of all? Did y'all run and cry?
Oh my God. So it is honestly now so many, which is a beautiful thing. I think Sydney can tell it better, but I'm just going to say the one with your cousin, I think was one of them so impactful.
Wow. Yeah, no. Oh, well, yeah, my cousin at one of our photos, actually that's 2019, the delirious one, was
Oh my goodness.
she is I think a little darker than me actually. And you know, she's a middle schooler. And her mother had been telling me that, you know, she had been struggling a lot with her confidence lately. You know, she's just was, and I remember going through that as well too, you know, just people picking on me for the way I looked and, you know, the color of my skin, even like, you know, other Black people, you know, it's just like how hard that is to grapple and to deal with as a young woman. Like I knew she was coming into the shoot with that. Well, actually, I didn't know till afterwards that she was coming into the shoot with that mindset. But leaving it, her mother was telling me, and you could even see her there, like she seemed so bright and full, and like she was just like, wow, there were so many beautiful Black women there. Like, you know, it's not something that like confident Black women too, because it's like I think it just goes way beyond the product itself, but just knowing that there's a community out there of people who care about things being, you know, directly made for you and your skin tone it can do wonders for, you know, you feel like safe in the space that you're in.
No. I know probably every time you see a Black girl be like, I look amazing, and mommy, look, the skin tone matches my skin tone, and I look fly. I know y'all be like, this is why we do it. This is why we put up with all the suffering, the pain, the heartache, the bad moments to do that. Well, I know y'all have to have a team under you guys. It can't just be the three of you. Or is it the three of you guys? How many people is under Auroa Tights?
Yeah, so we're the, I guess, full-time employees, you probably call us. But so going back to the internship program that we had started summer 2020, like I said, it was unpaid, but people got school credit. And it was amazing. How did we start off? I just want to say 10, 15 people over the summer.
It was 12.
12. So yeah, we started off there, and then a lot of people wanted to stay on. So we had people kind of stay on for a time period, or then maybe they have to go back for semester. So been some people in transit. But we also do, and so Sydney and Imani can speak to it because I think their teams are still probably the most active right now. My team will start again next semester.
Okay.
But I think Sydney has 2 people on the marketing side, and then Riley is on operations. So yeah, that's our team right now. But like I said, it goes up and down depending on the semester for the internship program.
No, but that's wonderful that y'all, even in startup phase and even in being a boutique, because I don't even like to use the word small business, boutique business, even being a boutique business, y'all doing mentorship. And how have you seen the girls that y'all have mentored like grow into their womanhood?
Yes, I love those women.
You gotta talk about Abby.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what I think of. So Abby, my first intern, my little star. So she for me almost a year, and through her senior year, and she actually got a full-time position with Dick's Sporting Goods. And of course I was on the phone with her, helping her with the interview prep, and she was so nervous. And then after like her final round, she was like, Imani would not believe like basically every little thing that she was helping me with. So tracking our inventory, helping us like little things, creating like barcodes, all these little like things that she's been doing over the year. That's exactly what they were looking for. So she was able to speak like for hours. And yeah, she's still there to this day. And yeah, it's like she was amazing, and the work that she's been able to do with us was amazing. And I think that's also like all our interns, like the talent that we are able to work with. And these are like people from like, we got high school students all the way to like people in like their 30s. Like it's been amazing to work with such talent.
No. And with all the learning curves, because you guys have had so many learning curves, how have the thing about the book of knowledge is open for us, but sometimes it's not always easy access to Black women about learning like under overhead and inventory and barcodes and all that. How are y'all able to get those resources? Because somebody might be listening to you guys and be like, how do I get that? Like I want to start this journey, but I don't know where
to start. No, that's such a great point. I think that a lot of things, one, Google is your best friend. I think a lot of it is that imposter syndrome. I don't know, I can't start, but just starting off, like, we weren't business majors. A lot of it was just like that curiosity, okay, just figuring out. And a lot of things I feel like are much more common sense. It's just you don't know that. It can build up in your head like, oh, budgeting is a lot, or whatever it is, marketing, advertise, whatever it is, you can build it up as a lot, but most of these can be broken down to a step-by-step process. And I think, well, one, the biggest thing is like being able to try it out, don't have expectations of like good or bad. Try it. If it has an issue, iterate, change. But I think really having an open mindset, you're not coming with it. It's like, if this doesn't happen, I'm failing. If this doesn't happen, then I'm not doing well. Maybe I quit. No, like just give it, try it out. What I'm talking about is very early stages, but going back to what Sydney was talking about, like applying for grants. There's so much funding out here. People think that they have to just bootstrap. You don't. There is money out here, and so it's just so great, whether it's through your university or just even looking up different, so many nonprofits now too. Or I Fund Women of Color is another one that's crowdfunding. And so I know this is part like educational, but like,
no, they need to know it. So you let it out.
Yeah. So like applying for grants, as Sydney was saying, save all your applications. You can use those same answers for a grant. An accelerator, Sydney was saying, it's a specialized, intense program for a certain period of time that you're only focusing on your business. You're getting mentorship. Crowdfunding. So crowdfunding is people like Kickstarter, or like I said, I Fund Women, Indiegogo. These people who are investors, they're looking at your product, whatever it is, and they're giving you money for some sort of a token, like whether that's, a hat or some sort of other thing, but they're not getting equity in your company. People think they have to sell their company. No, there's crowdfunding, but that's non-equity based. But then of course there's also equity crowdfunding. People are buying for little bits of your business. And then there's also angel investing. So it gets more and more. And then of course, I guess the final one will be venture capital. I think that's what most people think about. You think about Uber or these tech companies, Silicon Valley, they're getting these big investor dollars. But I want to show there's a whole variety before that you don't have to do, so there's so much money out there. And thank God we were able to start our business. We weren't bootstrapping. We found funding opportunities. We continue to apply for grants. We just continue to apply for different things. And that's what helped Aurora. We were college students. We could not finance her. We could not fund her every need. And so that's something I would tell people. It's like, there's so much out there if you just get started that way.
No. So as we end up about to wrap up this interview, where is Auroa Tights going next? Because y'all seem like y'all going a lot of places. So where are y'all going next?
Gosh, there's so many things to say, but we actually I think we are prepared for this because we just did our 6-month strategy call as a founding team, set out for our next 6 months. So we're definitely heading into new products.
Okay. Can y'all tell us new product yet? Can y'all give us an exclusive?
Yeah.
I don't think it's that. It's not a well, Monty, go ahead. You tell us.
The question is what we're moving into in the next 6 months.
What products?
Products.
Yeah. So we're looking to stick to entering apparel that is meant to match your skin complexion. So using our Aurora shades to other products. So we're looking to either do mesh, which is like super important in the performance sport community, especially when it comes to dresses and leotards. So with mesh under the Aurora shades, now your tights will match exactly with your dress, which touches really deep into my soul because that's half the reason why I wanted this company to come, is because I would wear dresses and it would just basically be all these white arms and then just my head on top looking like
Hold on, pause real quick. Sorry to interrupt you, but you just bring up a great point. I remember in the bio you was talking about how you have to tell your coach, like, how did that conversation go when you had to tell your coach, I need tights that are my complexion?
It was with my mom, thank God, always. And it went poorly every year. It was always met with, okay, we'll see. Oh, if the dressmaker doesn't have it, it's not an option. Always a runaround. To the point where by the later years of my skating career, like in high school, when, you know, the peak of my career, honestly, when I was a part of Team USA, like I would just like hold my breath before they would show us what the dresses would look like, because I'm just praying there's as little mesh as possible, because the less mesh there is, the more likely the dress will actually could fit me, where I could actually feel beautiful. So there was like to this day, one of my favorite dresses is this black dress because it had black mesh, and it's like, why did I love it so much? I mean, the dress is pretty mediocre, but it was because I actually felt in my own skin in that dress. So yeah, the conversations were never, it was never great. I mean, and why did I keep doing it? Just like your friend said, like you just fall in love with this sport, it becomes you. So yes, there's so much pain with it, but like the feeling of me on the ice, like it's unmatched. It's unmatched. So and that's why we want to enter this product as well, because to this day there's still, you know, ice skaters, dancers that are wearing these leotards, where even band dancers, HBCU dancers, you know, like they're still wearing um dresses, leotards that are not with their proper skin complexion in their mesh. We're also looking to go into the undergarment section, so body liners, which is usually worn under like leotards, and then further down the line, bras, panties, all in your Aurora shade. So you know you feel complete, you feel beautiful.
Take our coin. Take our coin. Take our coin to the fullest. No, no. Take our coin. No, no. Y'all guys have been wonderful, but before, like I said, we're about to wrap up. We have to do the Wild Award. I know I told you guys about the Wild Award. So, if you're first time listening to our podcast, the Wild Award is someone who have paved the way for you. You can either know them physically, or they could be somebody that you watch on Instagram, TV, whatever it is. Their story inspire you to chase your journey. It could be one person, or it could be a plethora of people. So everybody gets to have a Wild Award, or 5 Wild Awards, or how many people have led y'all along the way. Who wants to go first?
Oh, this is not a shared one?
Okay. No. We don't do share.
Okay. All right. We talked about this already. We know. But when you talk about a plethora, it's been so many people. Want to really emphasize community based, like some people pouring into us, you know, too many to even name. But Sarah Harold, she was at the Dingman Center, and she is just a advocate, you know, for she's a white woman, but she always has been pushing for us as our Black woman company, pushing us to get funding. Who do I need to talk to? Y'all still raising? Who do we need to bring more funding for? Or like, I remember I was competing. Fortunately, like Imani and Sid, because of the rules, were there on this. Fortunately, like we broke a rule. They were on the stage with me. They were really supposed to, but they couldn't pitch. And then what Sarah was telling me is like, they're going to ask you questions harder than they would ask anybody else on the stage. But rather than admitting like, oh, you're right, that's such a hard problem that we're facing, she said, no, say that's actually an advantage for us. You need to flip it. They're going to give harder questions for you because you're Black, harder questions for you because you're a woman. You got to be ready for it. So every time an investor comes in with drilling you, turn that flip into an advantage. And that's what she told us. Ultimately, we won that competition. And I really appreciate Sarah throughout the way. Of course, there was a lot behind all that and all of us in general, but it's those type of lessons that I feel like always are still part of our team.
All right. One's down. We got 2 more to go.
Okay, this is kind of like cheating, but I would say like all 3 of our moms.
No, that's not. It's not. I promise, it's not. It's not at all.
Yeah, I think, you know, of course, us being in these sports like during like growing up was hard in itself. But having this beautiful person that took you to the ice skating rink at 5 o'clock in the morning, to all the competitions, to talking to your coach about getting apparel in your skin tone, to being there when you win first place to when you win last. Um, like I don't know who else could have done it. And like, it wasn't just for a season. It was like, what, 15, 16 years of them driving us to wherever we are. So I would have to give it to our moms, because I mean, if they didn't keep up with it, we wouldn't be here today, right?
Yeah, that's really true.
Mhm.
Yeah, shout out to mom, all of our moms, because all of our moms have turned into each other's mothers. So there's that too. But I think I would have to say all 7 of the women who have inspired our shades. Each one of our shades, we choose not to name our shades after foods and tastes and whatever they're.
Yeah.
We name our shades after people who have truly inspired us as co-founders, and specifically, shout out to 2 of our newest shades that are going to be coming in the next year. They're going to be based off of Winter Olympic hopefuls, so please look out for that in the new year. But one woman for me that I have to give a special shout out to, because she was our most recent influencer for our campaign, is Candace. Candace Corral is a pro cheerleader. She's an NFL Pro Bowl dancer, dance instructor, but all doing that as well as being a software engineer. She's someone who, like you said in my bio, who really embraced me when I came onto my collegiate dance team, and not only inspired me as a dancer in terms of her skill level, but also just as a Black woman, in how she wore her hair, how she did her makeup. Like, she really just took me under her wing, and showed me the ropes, and still does that to this day. So shout out to you, Candace, for being a superstar. But all of the women who we've named our tights after, we all have similar stories to them.
No. Thank you guys. It's been a pleasure talking to you ladies. I hope y'all enjoyed y'all time here. Well, guys, that's a wrap. Thank you for listening to another episode of Wow. Please tune in, comment, and share. Wow is available on Apple, Spotify, and Google Podcasts. Guys, where can people find you at? Of course, the website.
At Auroa Tights all over.
Really.
Yeah.
Really.
Everywhere.
Worldwide. We're coming to stores. So we're manifesting.
Oh no, that was part of our strategy. Manifesting next year, speak, into
Okay.
this.
Manifesting to all stores, maybe Target.
Out your words, out your mouth. Guys, that's exactly
to
what
Walmart. To all of them.
All of them.
And they get that coin. Yes, amen. Before we of course. Also follow us on IG at _WILDHUMAN_WhilHuman. Also follow me on Instagram at introducing Melissa _introducing Melissa, then underscore at the end. Before we close out, remember this: inside all of us is hope, inside all of us is fear, inside all of us is adventure, inside all of us is a wild thing. Thank you. My name is Melissa. Bye.